Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
Mike.
And today we have a list. It is the top 10 whiskey / bourbon of 2025. So you know how we are with lists. I'm going to do my best. These aren't my favorite, but doing these lists, just let me preface by saying, well, honestly, I want to thank all you guys because we don't really have a lot of trolls that give us a lot of crap about silly stuff anyways. We really don't. So
none.
I love all you guys that are watching. I love all that stuff anyways. But I'm just going to preface you. These are not whiskeys that came out. I might even said 2025. This would be 2024. So I apologize on that one. But these whiskeys did not come out in 2024. We cracked them in 2024. Mm-hmm. So some of them are old, some are new, some are current ones, that are just going on there.
You might have did 5 years ago.
Exactly. So
we just found it.
When we crack them, I put them in that calendar year, and we grade them as that. So
which is not easy because this year was a pretty good year.
This was a tough one. We had
good whiskeys,
we had a lot of good whiskeys, and it took a lot of head-to-head battles and blinds and stuff to get them to the list that we have. So, but for you, it's worth it. So let's get right into the list right here. So
I think we did pretty good.
I think so. This is again, we had so many, that you want to make the list, and it's the way they come out.
We tossed and turned actually a few.
Oh yeah. So
that are behind us that could get special mention, but.
So here we go. We're going to start. Number 10, and if I forget the numbers, that I apologize. I guarantee I'm going to. But number 10 is the Booker's Reserve 2024. This comes in at 125.9 proof. We got it for $134.99. And I still am waiting to get the regular Booker's so we can put them all in there to see if it beats it. But, man, it just brought a lot more flavor and taste than the normal Booker's usually do.
Booker's has done pretty good towards our end of our season as far as winning in blinds, or at least competing. They weren't getting smoked. But this one is very good.
It is very
good. The sad part of this one, I don't know how readily available this one is. Because I've yet to see it at any store I go to. So, and Steve, A+ to you, I believe it was him again, right?
Yeah, I think it was, yes.
And he does have a magical story. And if you can find it, I'd buck up probably for the $1.35.
I can't wait till we can get it. So I want to get it. If you want to actually put
$1.50 probably
the last 3 seasons up against it. I want to see if it comes out on top. But it is very good. It's the first time I think Booker's actually made our top 10 list anyway. So coming in at number 9 is the 13th Colony Cash Strength. It comes in at 120.64 proof. We got it for $89.99. Again, these come to Connecticut. They do not come to us. I did sign up to try to win the Double Oak so I could be like everyone else and say, yeah, I was denied. I wasn't on the list. So, but this is still a very good bottle for what it is.
In both ways.
Yeah.
It's the probably our most unique bottle.
It does
other than the Willet. It is very good. You can't miss it on the shelf at all. So if you do see it, it's worth a try. If you haven't had one, it'll look good on the mantle.
It does take up shelf space, though. It's like almost 2 for 1 bottle because it's fat on the bottom. So.
It is.
All right, coming in at number 8 is the Maker's Mark, the Heart Release on this one. This one comes in at 111.7 proof. We got it for $74.99 in the great state of Maine because we did not find this one in Massachusetts either. You actually found this one. And this one to me, because we had a couple Makers in the run-in because I did like that cellar age, but I thought this one brought more of that Maker's dark, rich, thick, and it has a nice finish on it. It was just a great bottle.
The only suck part with this whole operation is literally in this state, I think you can only get 3. 46, 101,
is rough.
And just regular Makers.
No,
which is sad because it is, honestly, this gets rated quite high with us, both of us.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for either us traveling or friends of ours traveling, we'd never even get these.
Oh, no, 100%.
So if you see them, if you even found 2023, I can't imagine that would suck too.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
If I could, I would have bought that too.
Head to head, that's better than the cellar age to me. I think it brings more of that Maker's
you
flavor.
You said you had a little twang.
I got a twang in the cellar age.
And I did try it the other day, and I'm like, it's pretty damn good. And in those, Makers does have a crazy
I think it's cheaper
nose.
than the cellar age too. That's what I'm trying. That was the point I was getting at with that too.
You win on that. Yes, you are correct.
All right, coming in at number.
You're not going to find that one either.
Right. Coming in at number 7, this is going to be the hottest one that you can find. We lucked into finding one of these. This is George T Stag Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This comes in at 135 proof, and we got it for $179.99. The one thing I will say about this one, this drinks all of its proof. This has tons of flavor, and again, I've said it a million times on this, so you guys know I'm not that Buffalo Trace. It's a fruity butterscotch. It's almost too sweet to me. Some of the other ones that are going to beat it in this list, when you put them head to head, I just like their flavor better. This is a very good whiskey. It's pricey, but it's a very good whiskey and super hard to find. You actually, they're all whiskeys.
I'm always saying, but I just had to be a smartass. But yeah, and you're not going to find it. Yeah. If you get it for this price, it's definitely worth having on your shelf. I don't know if it's going to be a number 1 contender. I would venture to say you're probably going to agree with us. It's not going to like slam some of the ones that you can get on a regular basis. So if you find it for $1,000,
oh no, I would never buy that, because honestly, it's number 7 on our list. But again, we don't tend to go. Buffalo Trace doesn't do well in our list, but like Jimmy absolutely loves Buffalo Trace. That might be number 1 for him. You know what I'm saying?
It's still not worth whatever's behind the glass.
No,
or the top shelf.
At the 179, you're pushing the limits on what it's worth.
Yeah,
just speaking of limits, this one actually has more flavor, more taste, a better hang time. Well, maybe about the same hang time, but that flavor profile is better. This one happens to be the Copper and Cask Wet Kiss from Yankee Spirits, actually. It's a double oak. So this one we got for $49.99. This comes in at 63.4 proof. So that's like 126.8, I believe. Look at that math. I'm just whipping that off my head. We have done 3 or 4 different Copper and Casks, and for the price and the proof and the amount of flavor and taste, this thing has finished for days. This just competes in almost every blind we do.
And we've had different states too.
Yes.
I think we've had Connecticut, we've had Mass. And you can't miss the label. You can't miss it. For the money, if you want something that's like a very good flavor, very good everything, it's almost 2 for 1. It's 3 for 1.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I actually now kind of go out, and if it's a store that we have not been to or we don't have one, I don't mind picking this up for $50.
No, finished for days. Like it had the same finish as George T Stag, but the flavor profile was darker and richer and just better.
It's all there.
It was just better.
And whether they're just creating their own, whatever they're doing a great job.
Yep. This one actually come in as a surprise. This was like a second idea when I looked at it. So this one happens to be Larceny B524 barrel proof. It comes in at 125.4 proof. This is lucky number 5. We got it for $64.99. This actually won the Battle of the Larceny Blinds. You can go check that out if you want, if you haven't seen it. But this is another rich, dark, thick. It finished for. It's just an all around great drinking bourbon. You don't realize you're drinking 120 something proof. It's smooth as silk.
And unlike a lot of the others that we've talked about, you can find these.
Yes.
It may not be the one most recent out, but if they have a lager that's behind, it's typically for the money, it's well worth. And a lot of times it's 59, 69. They're worth picking up. If you're teetering between something new or something that's been put out and it's a barrel proof, I would go here.
Especially this year, all 3 bottles of Larceny were very good. This one beat out the other ones by a smidge, but all 3 of them were.
And there was no mad outlier at all. So correct.
So yeah, speaking of solid whiskeys that came out this year, this one happens to be the Elijah Craig. This is also B524. This is also the winner of Battle of the Elijah Craigs we did. This is 130.6 proof, $74.99 we got this for. It, again, hangs on for days. This just has a great flavor and a great finish. It's just again, for a $70-something bourbon, you can't beat them with a stick.
And so now they still have some of the ones last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a store that had 9 of the C920. They did.
C923s?
I bought one. That was my drinker.
Wow.
For vacation. So
I wish you would have said something, because I would have actually looked to see they got the barrel codes where one barrel code was supposed to be better than the others. We never found it. I have this much on my C923. I would have took one of them.
Well,
that was very good. I would like to see where it would go against this, to be honest with you. You have to bring it over one day. That would be a good head-to-head. That would be a good head-to-head.
If you see any of them that are a barrel proof for the price typically. And I think this is a little higher than what we normally pay.
It is, but again, we were struggling this year to
I
try
know,
to get them.
but
so.
it's still around 60, usually 60, 70.
I think that's average for the Elijah.
Even
Larceny's
still,
a little cheaper.
it's still worth it's worth the money. Because if they have the regular one for 35, I'd get this one and put an ice cube in it if it's too hot.
Yeah. Speaking of worth every penny we paid for it, this one coming in at number 3, and I'm going to run the numbers because I probably forgot half of them. This is the Four Roses single barrel. This comes in at 62.12, so that's going to be 124.2 maybe, somewhere in that range. This happens to be OBSK recipe on this one. This is actually the youngest one we had. When we did the Battle of the Four Roses, this one just rose to the top. This has a nice oaky presence. Talk about finish for days, huh?
No pun?
No.
Rose to the
Rose
top.
to the top. No pun intended.
Okay.
But I'll take it if it worked in there.
I caught it.
These are honestly, if you could find a store pick single barrel, we've done a bunch of them, and especially when you get in the 120 proof ones, they just bring a little bit more because the two 120s beat our two 110s, but they're all phenomenal.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
It's the big word if. If you can find, because here locally, in our state,
Steve found them all, but they were all out towards Boston way and stuff like that.
I
So
still travel. So they go quickly. If they're out, then they go. So if you see one, I'd say, again, it's a definite grab.
Worth every penny. And now they're coming out with 4 new recipes too, I believe. So that's just going to add the amount that come out for the single barrels and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see that when it actually comes out. Coming in at number 2 is the old trusty Old Forester. This happens to be Ted's store pick. This comes in at 128.9. Did I even say Old Forester? Single barrel.
You did.
128.9 proof. We got it for $99.99. And again, a lot of times I'll say $100. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's every penny. It's worth it. You get that banana, but this ends in such an oaky presence and at such a high proof. It drinks with a little punch in your face, but man, it is good. It is good.
It's another one for me that I'd be sad if I didn't have a store pick.
Yep.
And I'm not even really care. I don't think I'd really care where they are because I typically do pretty damn close.
No, but
one might be a hair, and then we're nitpicking.
Now that you say that, I think I might have a store pick from somewhere totally different. We have to crack it before you go and kill this one on me, and then.
And I know where the store probably is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you see a store pick of this, it's by all means. I'd say, and again, if it's too hot, add ice.
And again, just keep in mind, again, everything is relative to taste and stuff, but realize we put George T Stag in all of these bottles that are shelfers underneath it. That wasn't intentional. That's just because they tasted better. But that just goes to show all the people that gotta hunt. You know, if that's your profile, God bless you. You go get it. You know what I mean? But
that's a lot of money.
There's a lot of good whiskey for under that bottle. That's the key to that.
Correct.
Coming in at number 1, and we put this in a ton of blinds.
2 seconds though. But if you win it, if you're in a competition, you win it, and you pay close to MSRP, then it's definitely worth a grab.
Oh, I 1,000% agree. That's how we ended up getting it anyway.
Correct.
Like, so
but if it's $5,000-$6,000 or whatever,
or crazy,
then it's lucky you got the money. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and if you can do that, good for you. You know what I mean? And will you be my friend? That's the difference. Because honestly, no.
Good for you.
No, honestly, if you can do that, by all means, I don't begrudge anyone for that.
No,
I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff out there that beats it.
We got a lot of money in bottles.
So. No, right. So coming in at number 1 is the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof whiskey. This comes in at 131.4 proof. We got it for $79.99. And this is one we actually, Steve got this one from New York before they actually shipped to Mass. These come to Mass finally.
I think they're even at Yankee still.
They're around. I'm on the hunt now. I want to get one upwards. They say they go up in the 140s. Like I want to try to get one as high as possible. That's my new trick on these.
We've never done a 140 anything, have we? No.
Yeah. I don't think we hit hazmat yet on any of them.
I thought.
Yeah. We were upwards with some of the light whiskeys were up there, but they're not all the way there. So again, this just brings chocolate and nuts. And I put this up against the 12. This just beat it. It just has more flavor, more taste. It just, there's a strong concentration of flavor that comes with this one. And again, if anyone agrees or disagrees with the bottles we picked, or you think something can beat it or dethrone it, by all means, leave a comment down below. Because if we missed something on our list that you think should have been there, you can leave it. Because if we don't have it, I now want to try it. I can tell you that.
And all the above they get. I mean, money wise is great, and
Yeah.
bottle design, you just really you can't miss this.
Yeah, because when you find this on the shelf now, it's like 65 to 7. It's even cheaper
But
than that.
I know
Yeah.
you can't miss it.
No.
So, and they're randomly around. It could be last year's, it could be this year's, but it's worth getting.
Right. Well, there you go. That's our top 10. Why I kept saying whiskeys of the year, since Jack Daniels don't want to be called a bourbon. So that is our list. Again, whether you agree or disagree or want to add, love hearing from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you guys enjoy the list. And I don't try to offend anyone. So hopefully nobody gets offended by our list.
You can also tell us, we talked about, was Bernheim worthy?
There's so many good ones.
1792. It was very difficult. So if something is a better profile that you haven't seen us drink, then we will search it out.
That's the trick too, and we're keeping better track this year on ones we actually cracked during the year. Because again, I some people only do lists of stuff that only comes out in the current year. But you know what? Sometimes a Knob Street Creek store pick should make the list because it's just that damn good for the price. Mm-hmm. We didn't factor in price in any of these things.
Nope.
That's just a secondary thing we talk about while we're doing it. But as far as this was all 100% flavor, these are 10 banging bottles. So if you can see any of them. 100%.
And even to back that though, if you looked at our list, there was nothing, no crazy numbers, no 299, no.
Well, that's just it. We didn't get Russell's 13. We didn't get all the 00. We didn't get them.
But some of the ones that supposedly the high end, we spent a lot of money on, they didn't even make it.
Mm-hmm.
So be that as it may,
there's a Willet purple top behind us that did not make the cut. It wasn't even close.
It's not. It doesn't.
It wasn't even close, and that's
it's like who's going to drink that one?
No, honestly, that's a prime example. So, well, there you go. We babbled on long enough. Again, that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.